Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and I'm so happy that you're here. This podcast is a place for conversations about balancing a healthy lifestyle and being happy, more specifically, happy hour. Together, we'll explore all things wellness and wine. I hope you learn a little, laugh a lot, and along the way, know you're not alone on this balanced wellness journey. Ready to jump in? Pour something in your glass that makes you happy because it's time for Spandex and Wine. Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and I'm happy you're here. Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share a couple things. First, I'm still in the running for Miss Health and Fitness 2024 and would appreciate your support. I really can't believe this is happening. There are only 2 rounds left and every vote counts. You can vote daily free with the link in the show notes, and you can check my status there as well. I'm currently in 3rd. This week, I need to finish in the top 5 to move on to the final round. There's only 10 left. So going into the top 5 would put me into next week and then hopefully on to earning that title. It's so exciting and I want to thank each of you. Why vote for me? I'm not the gym rat bodybuilder choice. I'm the real wife, mother, and grandmother trying to be as healthy as I can and help others do the same. I try and balance all things in life, not being extreme in any one area. So you'll see me working out, but you'll also see me enjoying an occasional treat and definitely wine. Thanks for following along on this contest. Wish me luck. Second, our summer tour has begun, and the next stop will be in Platte City, Missouri on June 15th at Barley and Vine from 1 to 3. Just like the last stop at Somerset Winery, I want to talk to you and get your story, whether it's something that happened at Barley and Vine, or it's a wellness story, or just a story around adult beverages. I'll also be instructing a beginner's hula hoop class there from 1:30 to 2, so come out for lots of laughs and fun. All right. So today's guest is Sally Baas. I came across her profile on Instagram and I loved everything she's about, and I think you will too. You'll hear her own story of wellness and words of encouragement to get started or continue on yours. She's a delightful person with extensive knowledge in the wellness industry. Pour something in your glass that makes you happy and let's get started. Well, hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast, Sally. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
Yes. I have to tell you that when I first saw your content on Instagram, I was just so inspired. You just come across as this healthy and happy person. And that's actually what you put in your Google form when I sent it out to you. It says that you spread and share health and happiness. And that's actually part of my vision statement too. So I'm like, okay, we need to have a conversation. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. I love it. I love that we're on the same page there.
Yes. Yeah. And I also, you had said that you had some chronic health issues. So I'm so sorry you had to go through that, but that through a wellness routine and supplements and positive mindset, that you're now on the right track. So if you wouldn't mind sharing your story.
I would love to share my story. Yes, thank you. So, I guess, it started about 10 years ago. I started having a lot of just health issues all at once. I was having chronic migraines. Um, I had a lot of digestive health issues, running to the bathroom after I ate or not being able to go to the bathroom, that sort of thing. I struggled with sleep. I never slept good. It took me forever to fall asleep. And once I did, it was a very restless sleep. It was not deep, or restful sleep. I had some anxiety and depression going on. I had hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. So I had crashes and cravings a lot. And I was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So I had a lot of stuff going on. Yep. My kids were little. So I was struggling just to be a good mama because I didn't feel good. And so we started doing testing. I started having blood work done and just routine exams, memorize of my head to find out, what was going on with the headaches, and nothing was coming up. Nothing was showing. And so it was hard because I was like, well, I feel and I know something's wrong with me, but what is it, And so I was introduced to some gut health supplements, some plant-based gut health supplements. And a lot of the research I was doing was that a lot of my health issues were stemming from an unhealthy gut. And so I was struggling with that. And so the supplements that I started taking really targeted the gut health piece. And it was amazing, what it started doing for my health. I started having better sleep because my blood sugars were stable. If your blood sugars aren't stable, you're not going to sleep good. So I started sleeping better. My migraines were going away. My blood sugar was like stable, so I wasn't crashing and craving. Just feeling a lot better. And on top of that, I started focusing on my mindset and I started
Yeah.
focusing on exercise. I am a firm believer in the three-legged stool when it comes to wellness, and that is supplements, nutrition, what you're eating, and exercise and being active. And without all three of those, you're going to struggle. You're not going to have, it's not going to, the whole puzzle isn't going to fit, right? You got to have all
Mhm.
three of those. And so I really started focusing on all of that at once, targeting my gut health, eating better. Not that I ate terrible, but, I like my donuts and I like my,
Yeah.
that sort of thing, my sweets, but just focusing on more of what I was putting in my mouth. Kicked my Diet Coke habit, and I started, being more active. And even if it was just a brisk walk, like as a mom and three kids in sports in school, and I was struggling to find time for myself, right? And so I just would, just block time in for just a quick 15-minute walk or something like that, just something to get my body moving, to keep me active. And you wouldn't believe just what the benefits of just walking are. You wouldn't think
Right.
about that, but truly huge benefits to that. So incorporating that and working out when I could, and then focusing on just helping my mindset over my health and who I was. Um, just, your brain is, I mean, it just controls your health, right? And all of that. And when you don't view yourself in that light in a positive mindset, you're gonna struggle too. So focusing on reading books and positive affirmations and praying and stuff like that was really important to me, and it really helped me with my health journey. So yeah,
Yeah.
in a nutshell,
Yeah.
that's my
Well,
story.
and I'm sorry you had to go through that at such a young age with young kids and oh my gosh. So there's so many different directions that we could take this. My first question for you would be it's said through books and prayer, but when you're in that place and you are so tired, you're hurting, how did you come out of that with a positive mindset? I mean, was it just one day that you're like, okay, I've got to turn this around? Did you have a mentor, a therapist? How did you
Mhm.
pull yourself out of that?
Mhm. Well, that's a great question. It was not one day. It takes time. And I can
Yeah.
honestly say, 10 years in, I am a much better person than I was 10 years ago, but I'm still working on myself. I don't think that ever
Mhm.
ends. We're
Yeah.
always learning and growing, and things come our way that might stress us out or throw us for a loop. And, I think now I can better cope with that because I have a positive mindset and my mental health is good, in a good place. But there were times where I really struggled with that. So I did not ever do therapy, although I am 100% about therapy.
Yeah.
I think it's very important and very necessary for some people. I never found that I had to do that. More for me was I'm a Christian, and so reading my Bible, my devotions, my prayer life was very important to me. That helped me a ton. And then who I surrounded myself with.
Yeah.
In my business and my company that I do, I have a very, very amazing community of people, and those people just make a difference. You really, they say you become or you are who you hang out with, the five people you hang out with most, right?
Right.
And so
Mhm.
that is so important to your wellness. like who you surround yourself with. That was a huge part of it for me. And yeah, reading books on just overcoming hard things and learning how to retrain your brain. Dr. Caroline Leaf, I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She's a scientist. She's amazing. She puts out great books on how to retrain your brain, how to think positively, what you're saying to yourself, and how it can affect your body and your wellness. So I really started focusing on that mostly, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Did
And
I
I
answer your
feel,
question?
yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people throw around the term of gut health. And I don't think people realize how important it is and how it can affect so many different parts of your body. I mean, people just think of, okay, your gut, your stomach. Oh, you have digestive issues. It shows up everywhere. It shows up everywhere.
Absolutely agree. And I did not know much about that when I started this journey. I was like, gut health, what? I just never really had focused on that. And now I am just like, I'm a firm believer because I've seen the results in my own body and my health, focusing on my gut. Your gut is your second brain. It basically is. You know how when you get nervous, where do you feel sick? In your gut, right? When you're going to give a presentation or you have a basketball game you're doing or whatever, you're nervous, that's where you feel sick. It's your second brain. 80% of your immune system is in your gut. And so when that is unhealthy, the rest of your body is going to follow suit. And so you can like simply get on Google and Google gut health and migraines, gut health and fibromyalgia, gut health and digestive issues, and you will find a ton of research on that. And I'm very natural health oriented, and I feel like it's not gut health isn't really made aware a lot by
Hmm.
some medical, and it's really, really a big key to overall health and overall just total body balance. And I mean, I work with thousands and thousands of people who have found relief, just focusing on their gut health and even allergies and stuff like that. It's amazing. So yeah, it's a huge component to overall health.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know that there's a place for Western medicine, but I
Yeah.
agree with you in that if you can make just a few changes to your lifestyle, then that can go a long way. And I always recommend that you start there. I mean, always work with your physician, but I think there are
Absolutely.
so many things that can be done, just small little tweaks that'll change your
Yes.
life.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I totally agree with you there. There is a place for that. Prescription drugs and stuff like that that really are needed. I understand that. But if you can do it holistically and naturally, why not?
Yeah.
I just believe that's why those plants and those things were put on earth, for us to take advantage and use them that way. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think in our society too, we become too quick to find that quick fix, and we want just that pill and make it go away. So, how long was your journey? I mean, I'm sure you felt like energy was probably the first thing, but how long do you think that it took you to heal completely?
Well, that's a great question. So pretty soon into my wellness journey, I was feeling better. I was noticing changes, especially with the migraines and the sleep and my hypoglycemia. I was noticing that probably 6 months to a year in. And that's the thing, like you just mentioned, quick fixes, those are really not healthy and good for you. The like when you focus on your health, you want it to be kind of lengthy because your gut, and if you think about it, your body and your gut and your microbiome and all of that did not get unhealthy in 6 months. It's taken years, right, of
Hmm.
poor food choices and antibiotics killing the good gut flora and all of that. It's taken years. So for something to correct that, it's going to take time, and you want it to take time. That's important. It's just more healthy that way. And so I knew I was kind of in it for the long haul, and so I was just committed. And I would say you know, 3 to 4 to 5 years, I was feeling very healthy overall, very healthy. And you have
Good.
setbacks, you have things happen, and but other than that, I mean, my whole family too, we've hardly been to the doctor. We just our immune systems are strong. Yeah. So I think your wellness journey and your health is never, you've never fully arrived to, to being fully healed or whatever, because like I said, there's always things that come your way. But focusing on that and being proactive with that. Like I always say, prevention over prescription, right? I want to prevent
Mhm.
whatever I can now at a young age. I mean, I'm halfway young. I'm 47. So I want to prevent everything I can at this point, even if people don't have health issues, they're very healthy. Maybe they don't struggle with much at all, but you should be doing stuff like this anyway. You should be eating right and taking supplements and exercising for preventative measures because eventually that's going to
Yes.
come. So I'm just a firm believer in prevention over prescription. And so I would say, yeah, 3 to 5 years ish was when I
Yeah.
really was noticing, oh yeah, I'm over the hump.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say to my clients all the time, I wish that we could have just like a peek into the future for what we're doing now, like our exercise routine and our diet, how it's going to help us in 10, 15, 20, 25 years. I wish we could see that. We just have to have faith, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yep, absolutely. And I
yeah,
think a key to that too, Robin, if you don't mind me sharing, is that a lot of people, it is hard to create new habits and to be consistent, isn't it?
hmm,
And you will
yes.
maybe go to the gym for 3 months and then it falls off, or you'll take your supplements for 3 months and you don't anymore, or whatever. But I have seen the power of consistency in my life over the last 10 years, not stopping any of that and just not quitting and being very faithful and intentional about eating right, to exercising, taking my supplements, that I can see how now, it's the small things that you do every day that add up to the big return in the future, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you
Hmm.
don't feel like, oh, a day of exercise here, a day of exercise there, it doesn't matter, maybe you don't feel like it, but in the long run, it's going to make a huge difference in your future. So just a little
Yeah.
plug for consistency and being intentional, with that healing process and not quitting. If you
Yeah.
don't quit, you're going to win. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And your future self will thank you. I've seen, I saw a reel recently and it was basically, I work out for my future self. Like I'm doing this now for
yeah,
my future self. You had touched on something with your family, and that was going to be my next question was obviously you probably made drastic changes with what your kids were eating too, because you didn't want them to go through all of this.
right.
So has it been just a whole family event then?
Yeah. Yep. They started taking the supplements that I did, and I started just changing up our mindset around food a little bit. Not that we don't eat French fries and stuff like that. I am not a like strict crunchy mama, but
Yeah.
I am not a let's go eat fast food every day
Yeah.
and drink Mountain Dews and all of that either. So I believe in having ice cream and treating yourself once in a while, because
Hmm.
that's just, I mean, you only live once, and I feel like I'm not going to deprive myself of something that we all love and all that, but it's all in moderation, right? And
Right.
so yeah, I just focused on healthy meals. They love fruits and vegetables. A lot of kids don't, I made my kids eat them. Like, you know, um, they learn to love them. I really
Hmm.
didn't give them a choice. And so they love fruits and vegetables now and just healthy proteins and stuff like that. So it wasn't that hard of a transition because I wasn't really um, doing, it wasn't really bad to begin with, but I did focus on changing it up a little bit, just being
Hmm.
more aware and intentional about what I had in my house to snack on and stuff like that. And then, we're active family. My kids are all active, and that's important to us. And so I think that is vital in your family's health is, I mean, we love to sit down and watch a movie together once in a while too, but we're outside a lot, we're going on walks, or we're, doing 5Ks, or being active too. And I think that's so important, especially in today's age with children, to just
Yeah.
instill that in them. Because it's just too easy nowadays to just to be lazy. And so that was important to us too. So yeah, I think it was just easy to pass that down to my kids and my family because it was something I was passionate about. And I made it a point of, being intentional, like I said, with our family about implementing those things. So yeah.
hmm Yeah, yeah. And what a role model you are for them too, an example because even if they were really young, they saw what you were going through
Mhm.
and they could
Oh
feel
yeah.
it. They can feel things. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I think people discount children a lot of times, but they saw that you were a perfect example for them of living healthy. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, that is very true because they more
Yeah.
taught than taught with kids, right? They catch it and they do. And they saw mama not feeling good and struggling with migraines and in my bedroom with the door closed and the lights off. And that's no life for them. And so
Yeah.
it was huge for our family, in turning that around. So very
hmm
thankful.
Yes. Yes. And I think that, and I'm sure that you would agree, everyone has to find what works for them and their body. And we had a little bit of this discussion before we hit record. We are from two different companies. Your supplements are Plexus. I am an advocate for Hue and Grace. There's room for all of us. And I just love that you're sharing all of that with everyone.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. And I totally agree with that. I am for all of those wellness companies because of what their drive is and what their focus is and what they want to do for this industry and just our health overall. I mean, at Plexus too, we are here like we are the health and happiness company. That's what we call ourselves. We are here to help people feel better. It has just become a passion of mine through my own health changes and feeling better myself. I couldn't help but not share that with others because I knew
Yeah.
there were other mamas out there just like you do. And there's other mamas out there and people who are struggling with a lot of health issues. And so I think, it's selfish to keep it to ourselves. We got to share about it. And in just today's age too, I think people are looking for more natural stuff
hmm
and that's important too. So yeah, it's fun. It's a new passion that I have just found in my heart and my life to help other people in that way. And I've just had so much fun doing it. And yeah, just super grateful for the
Yeah.
opportunity and for businesses like ours, that we can do that. So,
Yeah, yeah. And all of us just helping with awareness and
yes,
mindfulness and just
yes,
sharing, like you said, health and happiness.
yes, yep, yep, absolutely. Yeah, got to get it out there.
Yep, absolutely. Well, how can the followers find you?
Well, I am on Instagram. Sally Baas is my name, Baas. So I'm there and I'm also on Facebook. Sally Ebles Baas is my name there. I think you mentioned you're going to put some links in the my link, yeah, in the
Yeah,
in
I
the
will.
notes or whatever. So that's a way too. And yeah, that's probably it.
Wonderful. Yes, I'll include all of that in the show notes. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity, Robin. I really appreciate it too.
Yeah. That was great, and I hope you found it helpful and will share the episode with a friend. I love that Sally and I are on the same page when it comes to wellness. Here are a few takeaways. One, what you put in and on your body and how you move will greatly impact your wellness. Two, every mom struggles to find time for herself, but it is so important. Try scheduling short blocks of time here and there to get your workouts in, even if it's just as simple as a walk. Three, developing a positive mindset is so important to your overall health, and it takes time and persistence to develop and stay in that place. We are all a work in progress. Four, surround yourself with like-minded people that support you and encourage you. Five, gut health affects your entire being. It is your second brain, and if your gut is not healthy, it will show up in various parts of your body. Incorporate pre and probiotics into your diet. Try fermented foods. Experiment with a few things to see what works for you. 6. Always consult with your physician, but consider starting with foods and holistic practices to heal yourself. 7. Quick fixes are not the answer. Put in the work for lasting results. 8. Be intentional and consistent with your health habits, and your future self will thank you. And 9. Quality supplements can be a big help on your wellness journey. You heard Sally mention she is part of Plexus, and I will put her link in the show notes. I'm an advocate for Hugh and Grace, and will share my link with a discount code in the notes as well. It comes down to finding out what works best for you. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to follow Spandex and Wine so you don't miss an episode. To do this, just go to the podcast and click subscribe or follow wherever you are listening. Look for the plus sign or follow button. This is one of the best things that you can do for the podcast. If you'd also be willing to give a 5-star review, that would be amazing and much appreciated. Lastly, please share an episode with a friend or 5 to keep the love going, and join the Spandex and Wine community in our private Facebook group by searching Spandex and Wine. Feel free to reach out to me at any time by emailing info@spandexandwine.com or text me at 913-392-2877. I appreciate you. Thank you.